Hey guys, it's your boy Huggy here. I'm out just riding around, taking in some of these country scenes, and it got me thinking about how much I love the Fat Boy, in particular the 88 twin cam. And as I'm thinking about that, I thought, why is this bike such a good beginner bike? And not that many people buy it as their first bike. You know, they start on Sportsters or Shadows, and what happens is you end up selling it 6 months later. So I thought I'd just make a quick video, maybe like top 5 reasons why I think this is an excellent entry-level bike. So the first one is going to be the accessibility of it at the cost. It's a decent sized big boy bike. I think you can, you know, for the twin cams, anywhere from like the 06 or the 99 through the 06. These are on Facebook Marketplace for I think anywhere $3,500 to maybe $5,000. If you want to get something that's already got some accessories added to it. So as far as being, you know, price-wise accessible, I think a new driver can certainly invest in that instead of a Sportster. Number 2 is going to be the ease of maintenance on this particular bike. You only need basic household tools to maintain this bike. If I'm doing any fluid change, a 3-hole, just the oil, that can all be done on the kickstand. If I need to adjust the shocks for whatever reason, I can do that on the kickstand. I know one of the main concerns for these particular year twin cams is the cam tensioners. But once again, if you just want to keep an eye on that, you know, you can pop the cover off with a basic Allen key and take a look at it once a year or every couple thousand miles, just so you don't get any surprises there. So even though that is a concern, I still think as a beginner rider or just getting a little bit bigger of a bike, that's an easy maintenance tip there. So leading right into that is I love the solid wheels. And I know there's always a debate on how they look. Should you have them? Should you not have them? Does the wind affect them? The physics of it? All that aside, these wheels are so easy to maintain. You don't have to worry about loose spokes. If you get a flat while you're out riding, you can just plug it. If you got bags, you can carry the plug kit. And if you don't have a plug kit, chances are somebody driving by has one. Any gas station or auto shop is going to be able to plug that tire for $5 or $10. So for a beginner rider, a little peace of mind, you don't have to worry about a flat as much. So those will be the main 3 reasons: the accessibility, initial cost, the cost of maintaining it, and the ease of maintaining it, which is basic household tools, and the wheel maintenance and stress relief of having those tubeless wheels for the flat and eliminating that stress as a new rider. For those 3 reasons alone, I'd say this is a great entry-level bike or entry-level Harley. Let's hop back on and I'll give you a couple more reasons why I think this bike is underrated as a beginner bike. Hey, I hate So one of the other reasons why is going to be the low cost of making the bike yours. And as a new rider, you don't know if you're going to love your first bike or if you're even going to love the hobby of riding a motorcycle. So you don't want to dump a bunch of money into parts on something that you're just going to sell later or get out of the hobby altogether. But for just kind of making something your own just a little bit, you can do that fairly inexpensive on these models. Now this came with stock handlebars, and these handlebars that you see here are basic J&P Cycles 10-inch apes. I think I paid $30 for them, and they made a big difference, and they're more comfortable, and it didn't cost me a lot, and I was able to do it myself again with just a basic Allen wrench. Now this bike had chrome handlebars and a chrome neck, so I did have to also get the black neck. I mean, I didn't have to, but for like another 40 or 50 bucks. Fairly inexpensive. These grips, which I'm loving, by the way, I got from Thrash and Supply, $25. I think they make it look nice and sleek with the black handlebar. They're comfortable. They got really nice grip. They stay on good. They're easy to put on. 25 bucks. And again, there is nicer parts out there than all this, but for a beginner, I added the chrome air filter to get rid of the football one. That was straight from Harley, 50 bucks. The LED light set in the front was 80 bucks. I got all three. Amazon. So I was really able to upgrade this motorcycle from what it was for fairly inexpensive. If you saw the seat that I'm on, that's an eBay purchase, $80. All in. Yeah, the bike was $4,000. I added about $300 worth of stuff just to kind of make it inexpensive way I wanted it to look, and I'm happy with it. And it's not even my first bike or my first Harley, but I don't absolutely love the bike, so I had to find, you know, cost-effective ways to make it how I wanted to look without needing a second job. And that was everything that got me thinking, like, this is perfect for a first-timer. Totally underrated. Yeah, let me know what you think down below. If you've had a Fat Boy or started on one, or you think there's a better bike. And then lastly, I think one of the, and it's not necessarily in that order, but one of the really good reasons for these bikes as a beginner bike is that they're very forgivable to mistakes for a new rider or somebody who's new to a larger bike. You can make mistakes on this bike and it's not going to cause a lot of problems for you. If you get into the throttle a little heavy, if you're messing up the friction zone and not getting the clutch right, this bike is not going to throw you off. It's not going to accidentally wheelie you back. If you happen to stall it out, you know, it's not 800 pounds where it's going to fall over or be impossible for you to pick up by yourself. It's just very, very forgiving for a lot of mistakes. For you to wheelie this or do burnouts, all that was, you'd have to, it's very intentional if you're doing something like that. I think even if you know what you're doing, it'd be hard to actually wheelie this thing just because it doesn't want to. So for that reason, and that, you could probably list the forgivability of this bike as a #1 reason. You know, you can really, I mean, I'm maxing that out, and it's, you know, it's not getting wild and crazy on me. And on that same note, you know, you're growing into this bike. It's going to grow with your skill development. You know, you can really say, you can really get it. And it's not going to come up. This actually doesn't even feel uncomfortable, like it might come up. Where if I do that same thing on my Dyna, it feels like it's gonna, sometimes it does come up. Other times it just feels like it definitely wants to come up. And as you grow into this bike, it's still just a lot of fun. You could own this bike for years. You go on group rides, you know, you'll be able to keep up. You're riding out to bike night, you'll be able to keep up. You can get on highway speeds with, you know, the bigger street glides and whatnot. You'll be able to keep up, especially if, now this is the 5-speed, if you have the 6-speed, you know, you'll be able to keep up even more. Yeah, but those are my 5 reasons or so. Let me know what you think down below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Appreciate you guys hanging out.